Our expectations were low, but holy fuck. So, it's the day after the Game Awards 2019 now, and I, like many others, have been reminded of why we usually skip it. So I'm gonna cut right to the chase. I don't know why I even watched it in the first place. I mean, I know why, because I had convinced myself of a bunch of things that were gonna happen because I was just positive that they were gonna. But I even recorded in video for the first time my entire reaction to the whole thing, all 3 hours, and I threw out the footage because it was just a waste of time. I mean, I know that nobody watches the Game Awards for the actual Game Awards. That's just not what it's there for. You're there for the reveals. And I was sure Nintendo would have something. Something. Anything. But no, they really didn't have anything. If you somehow aren't aware of why so many people, including me, were excited, we were all positive that we would be getting a reveal of the 5th character. It almost wasn't even a question of whether or not it would happen. We were just all positive of it because it made so much sense. I mean, you have multiple tweets from the Keeley guy talking about, oh hey, remember when Joker was at the Game Awards? That was pretty cool, right? And then you see Nintendo tweeting, oh hey guys, you should probably watch the Game Awards, wink wink nudge nudge. And of course, because it's just time, we were assuming that it would be a good time for a reveal of the last character for this wave. It just made too much sense. Especially because they had, the timing was perfect. Even if it wasn't a full reveal, and it was more like the Terry one that we got, where it was basically just the trailer and just, hey, here's a couple seconds of the in-game model. Or hell, not even that, because Joker we got even less. We just got the trailer. So I sat there and I watched all 3 hours, not caring about hardly anything that was talked about. I mean, there were some little bits here and there that were kind of cute and all that, and they showed, oh, here's a thing that people elsewhere in the world are doing, that's all great. But in terms of what the actual program was about, which is the game reveals and all that, it was just a bunch of games that looked the same, were just completely interchangeable, looked and played exactly like all the other games out nowadays. And then Nintendo was just like, hey, did you know that the Switch exists? Huh? Did you? It figures. The one time where the Game Awards is actually on my radar, it has nothing for me. I am beyond disappointed. I don't know why. And yeah, it's my own fault for working myself up to the point where I was convinced that they would have a reveal there. It's not really Nintendo's fault per se, but we have to be seeing this next character really soon, just in a sheer practicality sense. Like, think about the release window for some of these. Joker was in like April, I think, and we got Hero in July? Yeah, I think it was July. Then we got Banjo in September, and then Terry in November, so about every 2 months, roughly, give or take. So I wasn't expecting a full release or anything like that. God, no. I was just expecting a trailer at the very least. That would have been nice, even though I'm at the point where I've already gotten my top 2 choices and really have no right to ever complain about the roster again, and honestly, whoever it ends up being, I don't really care. I'm just glad for whoever likes them. If I sat there for 3 hours and got a reveal for a character that I don't care about, I would have been so much more disappointed. Who knows, maybe that's why they did it, because they probably knew that everyone was expecting a reveal, and maybe they don't want people to sit there for 3 hours and be disappointed. But then again, isn't it more disappointing to sit there for 3 hours and then get absolutely nothing? I don't know. Either way, I have 3 hours of video footage to throw out, although frankly I was probably going to throw it out anyway because the only camera I currently have is a GoPro, so it had this ugly fisheye lens on it, and I don't know if I could fix that in post. It would probably still have this awful depth of field effect. Ugh, it was a train wreck from start to finish. On the plus side, it won't be long, for sure, for us to get a reveal for the 5th character. It won't take long. There's no possible way. Even if the character comes out in February, which is pretty much the absolute tail end of their release window, we're gonna see it soon. I had kinda hoped that they would get the character out before Christmas, but that's a little unrealistic. So I at least would like a reveal before then. That would be really nice. We're probably not gonna get it now. It might be in January. But, meh. And yeah, this is largely my own fault. I was just so positive. I had convinced myself that they had to do it at the Game Awards. To be fair, they hinted at it pretty strongly. So, it's not entirely my fault. I just wish that we had something. Anything at all to go off. You had all the other companies revealing, ooh, here's the Xbox X. It looks like a really terrible cheese grater. Ooh, it's the Stadia, the thing that nobody wants. But, there it is. And PlayStation game, PlayStation game, PlayStation game. They all look the same, but you can get them, I guess. And then Nintendo was just, yeah, here's games that are already out, I guess. That leads me to hope that they have a Direct coming up very soon, and they were saving it for that. Because they probably have a decent number of things to show us, right? I mean, Breath of the Wild 2 has to be getting pretty far in development by this point, considering they didn't have to make the gigantic engine again. And they probably didn't need to make very much of the overworld, assuming it still takes place in the same Hyrule. I mean, it does, we've seen a wide shot of it, but assuming that it's not changed too much, which it might be, who knows. And it's also been almost... has it been... yeah, it's been almost a year since they announced that they were restarting Prime 4. I don't know how much they have to really work on there, so I hope that we get a reveal soon. I at least would like to hear from Retro Studios to know what's going on. It has been way too long, frankly. Who knows? I guess we'll find out, won't we? If nothing else, there's a lesson to be learned here. Keep your expectations low, no matter how confident you are. Keep them low, because that's where they belong when it comes to the Game Awards. Last year really was an outlier, Just having Joker randomly just crash the party. It was cool and almost makes me wish that I cared about this whole presentation. I don't, still. Probably now more than ever. But, and there was also that year that Nintendo randomly brought the first footage of Breath of the Wild. Just Miyamoto and Onuma sitting on a chair in another room just playing the game off the TV. Like a super low budget Let's Play. Like to say, it's Nintendo's the king of the left field. You never know what they're gonna do. I wish we did. Make my life a lot easier. But anyway, I might do more things like this where it's just kind of off the cuff talking about whatever. We haven't done one of these in a long time. If you're wondering where I've been doing life. Imagine that. Who knew? I do still have plans for another couple videos that I may be doing. I would like to do some recording sometime in the near future when I have a little bit more time available. I have some plans. I want to try World of Light Nuzlocke. I want to play the Ocarina of Time randomizer. That should be fun, because I've been playing a lot of that over the last, year. And I'm ready to do full random. Who knows? Might be interesting. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later, hopefully, to talk about some things that aren't disappointing. Bye.